Anderson Cooper 360. CNN, weeknights at 8 and 10 Eastern.
Keeping them honest. New and troubling details about the botched and some would call outrageous ATF operation called Fast and Furious that aimed to track firearms bought in Arizona, brought across the border to be used by Mexican drug cartels. There's word tonight that taxpayer dollars, your money, paid for some of those weapons. There's also new evidence of a huge communications blunder. One of the gun runners the ATF was targeting was in fact an FBI informant, and the ATF did not know that. Drew Griffin has got more on both developments shortly, but let's give you some background first, because the story has been around for a while. It is a stunning story, and it came to light when Border Patrol agent Brian Terry, this man here, was shot and killed last December on the Arizona side of the border. Two of the guns that were used in this Fast and Furious program, two of the thousands of guns the ATF had lost track of, were found at the scene.
He had already made his travel plans to fly back to Michigan and spend the Christmas holiday with his family. Brian's attention to detail had ensured that all the Christmas gifts he had meticulously selected for his family had already been bought and sent in the mail prior to his arrival. Brian did ultimately come home that Christmas. We buried him not far from the house that he was raised in just prior to Christmas Day.
His still grieving cousin speaking before the House Oversight Committee. Now, the committee also heard from ATF whistleblowers.
We weren't giving guns to people who were hunting bear. We were giving guns to people who were killing other humans.
Rather than meet the wolf head on, we sharpened his teeth, added number to his claw. All the while we sat idly by watching, tracking, and noting as he became a more efficient and effective predator.
So remember, the idea was to give guns to drug runners, to Mexican drug cartels, track where those weapons were, and ultimately on the Mexican side of the border, arrest the people and kind of figure out the networks, the drug cartel networks. Testimony, though, revealed that Mexican authorities couldn't tell the U.S. where the weapons were, where they were going, because they weren't even told about the operation. So the United States was essentially arming Mexican drug cartels, and no one told the Mexican government. The question both then and now is who ultimately was responsible for conceiving this kind of an operation, a risky operation, and never did anything like it had been done before, and then seemingly executing it so poorly. The answer, the true answer, is we still don't know. Washington is not saying. In May, Attorney General Eric Holder told the committee that he learned about Fast and Furious more than a year after it was launched. And President Obama has said that neither he nor his Attorney General approved the strategy of letting firearms just walk into Mexico. Acting ATF Director Kenneth Melson also testified there was no policy directive from Washington or the administration to use this tactic. He said he had not known such details or briefed superiors about them. He has since left the job. Now, back in July, a man named William Newell, the head of the Phoenix ATF office, told Congress that he made mistakes in handling the operation, but defended the aim of it. He said he wanted to take out the entire gun-running organization, not just stop a few easily placed links in the chain. He has been reassigned. And the details keep coming out now. Drew Griffin joins us with the latest. Drew? So not only, what have you learned now, Drew?
Well, Anderson, it deals with what was happening and the guns that were being used. In a letter that was written by Congressman Issa and Senator Grassley that we got a hold of, the lawmakers say they have now obtained detailed information from confidential sources that the biggest fish that the ATF had in this whole operation, Anderson, was actually this informant with the FBI. So not only was this an operation that didn't have any way to track guns once they went across the border, but one of the biggest targets that the ATF thought they might take down as part of it was working with the FBI. Senator Grassley's letter suggests that shows a complete lack of communication between the ATF, the DEA, and the FBI.